Thank you. Good morning. I'm going to present to you and try to summarize the Mozambique experience. And I want to say that we brought all this experience from Ghana. We had opportunity in 2004, myself and the members of private sector to go to Ghana and learn from what they were doing. And it's many times it's good to come late because we learned from some of the mistakes and we did not repeat in Mozambique. And we managed also to bring the latest technology from Singapore. So our upgrades will be a little bit later, not now, because we already took the latest. So I'm sure anyone joining this journey will have opportunity also to go and grab what is the latest in single window implementation. Some of the aspects I wanted to mention, and they were already presented by Ghana because we share more or less the same experience. But I will just stop on the most critical. As was presented before, there is a journey to a single window. It's not an easy task to implement it. So Mozambique also started long ago. We started in '97 with a complete reform of customs. For some time, customs management was privatized in order to recreate customs. We had almost 80% of staff distributed to other ministries, retrenched, I will say that. So we came all the way until in 2004, we started implementing most of the WCO recommendations. We implemented like customs valuation agreement until 2009 when the government finally decided to go ahead and implement a single window. Before that, there were many studies, diagnosis studies, gap analysis, all the studies that you can imagine were there. But as I will indicate in the following slides, the most difficult is to jump from studies to the real implementation. You need a champion. You need a champion organization to help that, and it's not an easy task. I will first explain what is MCNet. You just saw the presentation from GCNet. So we copied everything, including the name. In Ghana, they were calling it GCNet, Ghana Community Network. And we say, why we should waste our time? We just call MCNet. And we were lucky because while we were preparing, one country jumped in and it was about to call MCNet also, Madagascar, but we were lucky because they decided to call it GaziNet. So the M was available, and then we decided to call it MCNet. MCNet is a joint venture between the government and private sector with the responsibility of implementing the single window. I have here, Mr. Patel was mentioned before, he's member of CTA. CTA is around 400 private sector associations that they decided to put together efforts. They created a so-called CTA, Confederation of Trade Association. They are owner of the single window, Mozambique single window also. And we have strategic partners, SGS, we have Crimsologic. They are all part of this process. So MCNet, as indicated there are in MCNet custom staffs, for instance. I am a commissioner custom who in secondment by the government, I'm leading MCNet because government is also owner of this organization. This is the approach that was used in Mozambique, as indicated in Ghana also, Madagascar, to create a joint venture with the private sector with the responsibility to implement a single window. Why? We'll see further because single window needs to address the needs not only from the government but also private sector needs. The single window is a reality in Mozambique. We have implemented it in most of the, sorry, you have a pointer here? No, okay. We have implemented it, all the red dots you can see are the places where the single window is operational. We have the Prime Minister doing the launching of the single window last year, 19th of September. So this month will be 1 year of single window in Mozambique. The two pictures there are showing the opening of single window. Okay, yeah, it's there. Yeah, so all these dots here shows where currently the single window infrastructures go. So all these places are networked. We are going to start now in October to work in this region, the borders with Tanzania, to also interconnect them to the single window. The main objective of our single window is to provide a centralized platform to trade. So it's not a custom single window. This is a trade single window. We have modules in the single window that should address the needs of business to business, exchange of information, business to government, government to business. So we hope also to one day to move into even consumer to consumer needs. So as listed there, we have increase in revenue collection, reduce the clearance time. I mean, all what was listed here, first by Crimsologic and then by Ghana, these are the main objectives of our single window. I have this picture that it's familiar to you, just to explain that some countries are still here. Many countries are still in this situation where most of the processes are paper-based processes. You have to visit all the entities and supply you form, and I can assure you, in any country, all these forms have more than 50% of information there is the same. I go to customs, I have to say who I am, what is my taxpayer identification number, what's my address, and at the end, 20% of information I say I want to import. And I will go to the Minister of Trade, everywhere, the same information. So you have, and this morning, the first presentation was talking about the cost of export, because I have to waste time telling people exactly the same. All the members of the same government, but I have to tell them one by one what I want to do. I want to do a single import. Let's say what is very common. I want to import a car, a second-hand car, and I have to go and tell 10 government agencies that I want to import a car. So some countries now move to this situation. They have improved their custom management system. Some people call it single window. Well, we can argue that because they have improved, they have a custom system that allows for electronic sending of information. But we call single window this situation here where you have all entities interacting and getting information and all responses from the same platform. This is a Mozambique situation, and it's similar to Ghana. We have TradeNet, and we have custom management system. Here, no sending of information. The information is there. You provide information, you get information from the same platform. The only thing that we send in real terms, we send out are notifications. When you make, for instance, a question that is insured for you declaration, then you will get automatically email notification telling you, please check your declaration. Or if you make a payment at the bank, then you will get an email notification. That is the only situation where we send information. Because all information is here, everybody works in the same platform. A vessel when leaving Singapore, and the manifest is ready, it is sent to agent of that line in Mozambique, and that agent will just upload the manifest of 200 BLs or 500 pages. It will just upload to the single window. So we are progressing to allow more uploading of information, more downloading of information, and less keying into the single window. We are now also working with some retailers with very large customs declarations to see if they can just upload the declaration, not key in. And also we are working with companies running freight stations, terminal, we call it container terminals, to download the manifest, so they don't need to get one from shipping agent and one from custom. They will just download it. They just choose a format. They want XML, they want EDI, they can download it to their system. So they don't need to key in information again. Here I just listed some of the reference of the system we are using. As was indicated before, we are using TradeNet. Some countries decided to use TradeNet plus Asikuda plus many other systems. We are using TradeNet plus CMS also from Singapore. And today, as I said, it's 1 year after the launching of Mozambique single window. We have now around 175 customs officers using the single window. We're out of around 1,200 that are in the operations area. So we are about to conclude the rollout and training. So we have trained during this process 1,075 customer officer. We have 240 clearing agents offices. So we have trained the clearing agent and their assistants. And we have now 943 users from the clearing agents offices. We have also trained 225 people from shipping agents and freight forwarders companies. And all these people are using the single window. First, they use a single window to upload the manifest. Then they use a single window to search for historical manifest. And they use a single window to create a house manifest or to request for splitting the manifest, or in case there is a short landing. All that is done in the single window instead of a request that was made usually to the customs office. Requesting to remove a BL because the container did not arrive. All that is done directly in the system. We also have 225 employees from banks that are using the single window. In the Mozambique option of single window, we have now 6 commercial banks that are connected to the system. We had to do a long sensitization and work with the banks to prove to them that the single window is secure. We took almost 3 months reviewing the system, reviewing the specification before they could allow us to connect to their system. So now you have different modes of payment. You can go to ATM machine, and you have a reference, entity number, and invoice value. You make a payment, or you can go to a cashier at the bank. You make a payment, or you can make online payment. Any of the mode of payment that are available in private sector, they're available for the single window. And the two systems, the bank system and single window, they do the synchronization. So they will check the references, they will do the approval while you are waiting there at the counter. The testing we have done until now takes few seconds, and with some cases that took up to 3 minutes. So 3 minutes from the time you do your internet, online banking, from the time you make a transfer until the time that you get back a payment receipt from customs, not from the bank, you get from customs, up to 3 minutes. Usually that used to take a day for you to go to customs and get a payment invoice, go back, write a check, come back, and sometime arrive, the cashier is already closed, you have to come following day. All that takes up to 3 minutes to do in a single window. Some functionalities we have here, they were listed before by Ghana. So we have CA and road manifest management, where you can do uploading and do all what is usual with the manifest. Also, intelligence, investigation, post-clearance audit, all areas of custom have access to manifest online, electronic manifest. Declaration management, where clearing agent can submit a declaration, then he gets a payment invoice, he makes a payment, he gets a clearance, a release note, he can get questionnaires. Anytime you have a problem with a value, you will get a questionnaire asking you, can you please submit additional supporting information to confirm your transaction value? All that is done through questionnaires. My time is almost gone, so this is a list of all functionalities that are on other side, on TradeNet side. I just show you on the CMS side. And also, we are working now on additional modules like temporary import of vehicles, simplified road manifest, offense management. We have a module we call offense management that creates suspicious reports based on transactions that we consider to be suspicious. So we'll create suspicious reports and send to whoever we decide should go, to the DG, to investigations. And also, I will just say a few words about the key rules that we took into consideration when implementing our single window. The first and the most important is to involve all stakeholders. Single window is a system for everybody, for all involved in a trade, external trade. So you need to make sure that they are involved. We were very lucky because the private sector in Mozambique is well organized. For a long time, they have CTA has an umbrella, so it was easy to talk to one entity and then move it to specific areas. Another issue is investment. Single window, as I said, is a very complex system, requires initial investment. You can't stop a single window and say, I'm waiting for a new network card, I'm waiting for a budget to buy a new PC. No, the single window needs to be there 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days, and this is a challenge we're facing now because customs is working now 24 hours. So we need to have the call center there, we need to have the technicians 24 hours on waiting and available to assist stakeholders. Other issue that I will also mention is there is no need to replace systems that are working. When implementing single window, some of your legacy systems are working. So you just need to make you have to make analysis, and some of the countries decided to connect TradeNet to Asikuda. It's true that some of the potential that comes with CMS, with the latest Singapore development, they are not there, but it works. It's a starting point. Challenges we face are similar to Ghana. You need to find the right owner of the system, because in some countries it's customs, then in other countries it's port authority, but it is very important that you have to, everyone should feel the owner of the single window. Other aspects is that customs has to, you have a lot of changes that needs to be done, especially in the mind of people. So the most critical issue we are facing, we still face, is attitude. You need to find the right attitude in all the people involved. Some people used to start working only when they have a pile of declaration on the table. When it's one or two, they say, okay, it's not a lot of work, can go and smoke a cigarette on the road and come back. But with the single window, it's not like that. In the single window, you get all information all the time, continuously. When you come in the morning at 8 o'clock, we start at 8, customs start at 8 o'clock, there are already a lot of declaration in the system waiting for a verification, waiting for approval, because private sector is working, even midnight, people are processing declaration, sending to customs. So this requires this change. What's not very easy, but single window is just an instrument, but people need to be prepared to use this instrument. Finally, I will also give emphasis to the need of having the a model that can help to implement a single window. As I said, you can't just implement one module and wait 1 year for budget to get another module. You need to vigorously start the implementation. So in our case, we decided to go for a PPP that it's also sharing the risk. The private sector is sharing the risk. If government is not collecting revenue because the single window is not working, the private sector also is getting the risk of that. So you will get the private sector involved, and we have a regular meeting we call a single window forum, where you have the private sector there asking what are the problems, and you find the solutions together with the private sector. So the single window forum is one of the recommendations when you implement single window. In conclusion, I will just say that we are here all talking about trade facilitation, and we all agree that single window, it is the right tool to implement single window, to trade facilitation. So we just need to go ahead and implement it. Thank you.